Welcome to the Church Revitalization Podcast. My name is Scott Ball. I'm joined by my friend and co-host, AJ Matthew. AJ, happy Thanksgiving, my friend.
Happy Thanksgiving, Scott. Happy Thanksgiving to the world, or all those who care to celebrate American Thanksgiving.
You know what? I want to tell you something interesting that you may not know, AJ, that I know because I was recently in another country.
Mm-hmm.
I saw signs I was in Germany and in the UK for one day. And in both places, I noticed in the signs in all the shops for Black Friday sales. Can you believe this?
Really? That's funny.
Yeah. And so I was talking to someone in Germany and he said, we don't celebrate your Thanksgiving, but we always know when it is because we have Black Friday sales. And so
some more good American exports there. That's nice.
Yeah. So they don't celebrate. You may not have our Thanksgiving where you live if you don't live in the States, but you're welcome for the sales on Black Friday.
I'm pretty sure Germany does not, it doesn't coincide with the same date, but I'm pretty sure Germany has a similar general day of thanks around this time of year, I think.
I don't know. Our listeners will have to let us know in the comments on YouTube if it's the case.
I think other countries have adopted similar things. Like,
I know that Canada has something similar.
The general idea of just having a day in which we're thankful, I think that has been adopted in places around the world.
AJ, I try to have a thankful heart every day.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay, so today is a very brief episode. We hesitate to even call it an episode. We are not tackling a practical, actionable topic to help your church thrive today. We know that it is Thanksgiving week and you want a break. And so today, we just want to say thank you. We're thankful for you, and we're thankful for you listening to this podcast for now. What is this? 167 episodes?
167, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We've joked about this before on here that this has gone on much longer than any of our other harebrained ideas that we come up with off the top of our heads, which is how the podcast came about.
We've been surprised by our own commitment to this.
Yeah. And surprised by our own success with this. We
lots
regularly
of growth. Yeah,
lots of growth. So thank you. We wouldn't still be doing it if you weren't still listening. And so we appreciate you guys very much. We just wanted to say thank you. And we wanted to do just a very brief question for each of us. I'm going to start with you, AJ.
Okay.
AJ, why don't you share with the listeners one non-cliche thing that you are thankful for? We know you're thankful for your family and for Jesus. We understand that.
Those are givens.
Those are givens. What's one non-given thing that you were thankful for?
Yeah. So, and this is not 100% spontaneous because we were talking about this just a minute ago, but I've actually kind of thought of a few other little angles though on it, Scott, that I'll hit you with. So primarily the first thing that came to mind for me, and I've actually talked about this with a couple of leadership teams recently. I love churches and leadership teams in particular, when we're working with churches that really go all in, they're excited about the future. They're excited about making strategic changes, and they're just all in. Like they want to engage with us further after, which we are available for a year of coaching, but not all churches take us up on that. They kind of fall away to some extent. Everybody makes some kind of positive changes in their church that we work with. But there are those that kind of do the minimum and those that are like, we are all in on this. And I love those teams. It makes the work so much more exciting and rewarding, whenever they're really getting after it. And so kind of to add on to that, I'm also thankful for this huge international expansion that we've been experiencing in the last couple of years. Yeah. That is very, very exciting. And I love getting to do that. But what I see more overseas is more of what gets me excited are these people that are just hungry for ideas and for strategy and just really wanting to make positive changes. And so that's kind of fueling my additional excitement about working overseas with teams and churches and groups. So, kind of wrapping all that up together, I do love the increasing opportunity for our global ministry, the global ministry side of what we do, and then just working with those leaders that are like, man, we want to have a huge impact for the kingdom, and we're ready to get busy. So yeah, that's my Thanksgiving 2022 thankfulness.
That's awesome.
Yeah. All right. How about you? What's up with you on your end?
They say if you do a job you love, you'll never work a day in your life, or something like that. Is that the saying?
Well, I thought our rules were like non-cliched things here, Scott. You're hitting us with a cliche right off the bat.
I know. But
there's truth there, though, for sure.
There's truth there. Yeah. And I've been in ministry my whole career. Like I've worked for a little while in the bank, and I really hated that. Like I really hated it.
You're not thankful for your bank experience at this stage.
Not thankful for that.
Okay.
I once loaded FedEx trucks at 4 a.m, and I really hated that. Was not good at it. I don't like waking up that early. And so I've had some other jobs, but in terms of my career, I've only worked in ministry, and I've had a lot of different kinds of experiences in ministry. Don't worry, I'm getting to a point with all this. And I've enjoyed every bit of it. When I did student ministry, I loved it. Really did. And then when I was doing, other kinds of ministry, I've always enjoyed what I've been doing. Without a doubt. But this season of ministry at the Malfors Group, now this is my 7th year full-time doing this. It almost feels like, first of all, I can't believe it's been that long. I'm like, wow, 7 years, like this, crazy that it's been that long. And 2, it doesn't feel real. Like I keep feeling like one day I'm going to wake up and like it was all a dream. And you're Dorothy waking up from being in Oz, And so I'm thankful. Like I'm thankful for the work that we get to do, for all the things you said. Like it's not just, oh, you get to go places that you've not been. That's a part of it. That's pretty fun.
Yeah.
But we see a lot of like insides of hotel rooms and church basements. Like we're not, we're not regularly like hitting the town. So it's not that. It's getting to see things transform, and it's getting to play a small part in people's story. And it's gaining that permission to be able to say things that maybe need to be said, that people have been afraid to say. And then you give us the permission to say it finally. And that can sometimes unleash change and transformation. And so I guess I'm thankful for the work I get to do, but it's only possible because you let us do it, because you invite us into your churches to do the work. You all give and support the international ministry. You all, pay on the U.S. side. Even though we try to keep our fees as low as possible, you guys say, yeah, okay, yeah, we'll pay it so that you can come and do the work. Is there one thing in there, AJ, that we could discern? I'm thankful for the work. I'm thankful for you all who listen, to invite us to do the work. Yeah, I'm overwhelmed. Sometimes I'm just feel very overwhelmed with gratitude that we get to do it. I'm like, I can't believe this. It's real.
Amen. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Let me add also how thankful I am, Scott, for you. You and I we spend a lot of virtual time together. This is like, we just hit record on what our normal day would be like here on Zoom. So thankful for your ministry contributions to what we do in your friendship. We just have a blast working together. And I've been getting that question here recently too. People that listen to the podcast or watch the videos are like, have you and Scott like known each other your whole lives, or did you this, like, people are kind of becoming curious about like how long we've known each other, or what our
7 years.
And so a lot of people don't know. We're just like thrust into working together. Just like, oh, here's this guy, he works here now, and here's this guy, he works here now. So that's cool. But and also just our expanding team. So, hey, love you guys. All of our team, which is kind of represented almost kind of coast to coast. We have West Coast, we have East Coast, we have Midwest, South,
and overseas.
Overseas. Yeah. 2 team members in Europe as well. So that is super awesome. So thankful for you guys. So hey, Mountford's Group team, thank you to all the work that everybody is doing around the world. You're awesome.
Put a cherry on the top of this episode, if you can call this an episode. This is more just a reflection on Thanksgiving. But if you're watching on YouTube, please put down in the comments what it is that you're thankful for. And if you're going through a hard season in ministry, and I've been there, I know what that feels like. One thing that can help to pull you out of it is to think of something that you have a sense of gratitude for. Like that really can ground you in some ways and keep you from feeling just too overwhelmed. And so put in the comments what it is that you're thankful for, the gratitude that you have. And if you're feeling totally lost, you're like, I'm thankful for nothing, then you should call us, because as you can see, there are 2 people sitting on this podcast who would love to encourage you and love to help you and love to help pull you out of that sense of desperation and hopelessness. Trust me, so long as there is breath, there is hope. If your church has a pulse, it can be transformed. And so contact us. We'd love to serve you and encourage you.
That would be great. Well, thank you to everybody again, as Scott said, for listening, watching, whether you're here on podcast audio or you're on the video on YouTube. Thanks for being with us, and we'll be back. We'll promise we'll come up with something good to talk about next week that will be actionable for your church. Thanks for being with us on the Church Revitalization Podcast. We'll see you next time.